The girl's name was Rachel. Rachel had always felt out of place, a square peg in a round hole. Her nose was too big, her breasts not perky enough, and her hips too wide for the narrow standards of beauty that society had hammered into her psyche. The mirror was her nemesis, a cold, unforgiving window to a world that seemed to whisper cruel secrets about her imperfections. Her reflection taunted her, a perpetual reminder of the gaping chasm between who she was and who she longed to be. Rachel dreamt of a transformation, a metamorphosis that would elevate her from the mundane to the extraordinary. Her obsession grew like a tumor, festering in the dark recesses of her mind. Rachel spent hours scrolling through Instagram, her eyes devouring the images of flawless faces and sculpted bodies, all of them seemingly untouched by the ravages of time or gravity. She became a silent worshipper in the church of cosmetic surgery, her prayers a series of clicks on the like button, her offerings the endless hours spent researching surgeons and procedures. Her decision was made in a feverish rush, fueled by the seductive whispers of a world that promised her the moon in exchange for her imperfections. Rachel chose Dr. Castellanos, a man whose before and after photos looked like the work of a divine artist, a modern-day Pygmalion who could carve her into a masterpiece. The consultation was a whirlwind, a blur of technical terms and smiling reassurances. The doctor promised her that she would be beautiful, that she would finally fit in. Rachel signed the dotted line without a second thought, eager to embrace the knife and the anesthesia that would usher in her rebirth. The surgery was scheduled for a Thursday. Rachel's heart fluttered with excitement as she lay on the cold, sterile table, the antiseptic smell of the operating room filling her nose. The anesthetic crept through her veins like a warm embrace, and she drifted into oblivion, dreaming of the moment she would wake up to a new face, a new body, a new life. But when Rachel's eyes fluttered open again, she found herself in a nightmare. The pain was searing, a symphony of agony that resonated through her entire being. Her face felt like it was on fire, and her chest was tight and heavy. Panic set in as she reached up to touch her nose, only to encounter a swollen, unfamiliar landscape. The recovery was a living hell. Her face was a grotesque mask of bruises and swelling, her body a prison of stitches and bandages. Rachel's mother held her hand and whispered sweet nothings into her ear, trying to soothe the soul of her daughter, who had been shattered into a million pieces. Michael, Rachel's part-time model boyfriend, visited her in the hospital. He winced when he saw her, unable to hide his shock and horror at the monstrosity that lay before him. Rachel's heart shattered further, realizing that even in her quest for beauty, she had lost the one thing she had always craved: validation. Days turned into weeks, and Rachel retreated into a cocoon of despair. The pain was only a backdrop to the psychological torment that gnawed at her sanity. She avoided mirrors like they were gateways to hell, afraid to face the creature she had become. Rachel's thoughts grew darker, the whispers of doubt and self-loathing swelling into a cacophony that drowned out everything else. But Rachel was not one to succumb easily. She had always been a fighter, a warrior in the battle against her own reflection. She resolved to fix this mistake, to right the wrong that had been done to her. Rachel became obsessed with the idea of reversing her surgery, of reclaiming the face and body she had left behind. Her research led her to a back-alley clinic, a place where hope went to die and desperation held sway. The doctor there promised her a reversal that would be quick, painless, and affordable. Rachel didn't care about the risk, the potential for further damage. In the dingy underbelly of the city, Rachel found Dr. Marquez, a disgraced surgeon with a penchant for experimental procedures. His clinic reeked of desperation and disinfectant, but Rachel was beyond caring. The operation was performed under the flickering glow of a single light bulb, the walls adorned with the shadows of botched surgeries past. Rachel lay on a table that groaned with every shift of her weight, feeling the cold steel bite into her skin as she clenched her fists in anticipation. The reversal was anything but painless. Each snip and tug of the scalpel sent shockwaves through Rachel's body, each stitch a tiny thread of hope that she would emerge unscathed. The hours stretched into an eternity, a blur of pain and the doctor's grunts of concentration. Rachel's screams were muffled by the gag of fear and regret that filled her mouth. When the ordeal was over, Rachel was left with a face that was not her own. The swelling had gone down, but the features had shifted into something unrecognizable. Her nose, once too big, was now a mere button, her lips a pouting line drawn too sharply. Her breasts had been overcorrected, leaving her chest a lumpy, misshapen mess. Rachel's eyes searched the mirror for any semblance of the girl she had once been, but all she found was a stranger, a macabre caricature of her former self. The realization hit her like a sledgehammer. She had traded one set of imperfections for another, swapping her identity for a grotesque pantomime of beauty. Rachel's world crumbled around her, the walls of the clinic closing in like the jaws of a monster. The whispers grew louder, the chorus of doubt now a deafening roar. As Rachel stumbled home, her body a canvas of pain, she understood that true beauty was not found in the cold steel of a scalpel or the slick pages of a magazine. It was a fleeting, elusive concept, as unique and varied as the stars in the sky. The real transformation she needed was not in her flesh but in her soul, a metamorphosis that would require a far more profound and painful journey than any she had endured in the surgical chair. Her reflection no longer taunted her, but rather mirrored the depths of her sorrow and the strength of her resolve. Rachel knew that she would have to learn to love herself, scars and all, to find peace in a world that had never truly seen her.